And there was given me a reed like unto a rod. Now, a reed is a measuring tool. Reed, like a ruler. Go ahead.
And the angel stood, saying, Rise and measure the temple of Ahiah.
So he says, rise and measure the temple of the Most High God. Read.
And the altar.
And the altar.
And them that worship therein.
And them that worship within the altar. So these angels were not to measure any person or any people outside of God's command. They were only there to measure a particular people according to this prophecy. Read.
Verse 2. But the court which is without the temple.
So the people that are outside of the temple.
Leave out.
Leave out.
And measure it not.
Do not measure these particular people. Why?
For it is given unto the Gentiles.
Because the Gentiles are in the outer courts. So they are not to be measured by the angels for this particular number the Most High is getting here. Crystal clear. So that means if you are not born of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you are not being measured for this specific prophecy. Read.
In the holy city shall they tread underfoot.
In the holy cities shall the Gentiles tread underfoot. That means they will take down Jerusalem. They will take down God's chosen people, like they took down Christ, like they took down the disciples, like they exiled John. Read.
42 months.
42 months. This is an actual time period in which the powers will have before they could actually accomplish destroying God's people and the true people of Christ within the earth. That 42-month period. We're going to prove that. Now it says, and measure the temple of the Most High, and the altar, and them that worship therein. So what are they measuring? Who are they measuring? With this rod, with this reed. Hold that and get Zechariah, the 2nd chapter. Zechariah 2.
Zechariah chapter 2 verse 1.
Go ahead.
I lifted up my eyes again and looked, and behold, a man with a measuring line in his hand.
The same measuring line or reed like unto a rod you read in Revelations 11. Go ahead.
Verse 2. Then said I, Whither goest thou?
Where are you going?
And he said unto me, To measure Jerusalem.
To measure everyone?
To measure Jerusalem.
So when it talks about measuring the temple, it's speaking of the people of Jerusalem, the people of Israel, the original seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's why in Revelations it says the Gentiles don't measure them, because this measurement in prophecy contains one people. Read.
To see what is the breadth thereof and the length thereof.
Let's see how big it is, how long it is. Read.
Verse 3. And behold, the angel that talked with me went forth, and the angel went out to meet him. Verse 4. And said unto him, Run, speak to this young man, saying, Jerusalem shall be inhabited as towns without walls.
So it will come a time where Israel is together in towns without walls. That's the wilderness. Document that. That means we'll be protected by the Most High for a period without towns or walls. Read. So we will be outside of the Masonic construct that's set up all over the earth, these cities. Read on.
For the multitude of men and cattle therein.
So when we go into these towns without walls, we will have what? Men, cattle. Go ahead.
Verse 4. For I, saith the Most High Ahiah, will be unto her a wall of fire round about.
So at some point we will be protected by the Most High. within this earth. Even while all this, the chaos and the so-called New World Order and all that's going on. But if you are within the satanic constructs, when all of it happens, there will be no escape. They set up the satanic constructs that they call cities as a trap, for a trap. If you are within their grid, within their construct, when it happens, automatically you're caught in. Read.
And will be the glory in the midst of her.
He will be the glory in the midst of her. So it's going to come a time where the Most High is protecting his people. And the angels are measuring those who will go into the wilderness also. Read.
Verse 6. Ho, ho.
At last, ho, ho means?
Come forth and flee from the land of the north.
Ho, ho, come forth and flee from the land of the north. Get ready to move. Read.
Saith the Most High.
Saith who?
Saith the Most High.
Saith the Most High. He's not saying stay where you are. Be like pilgrims in that day. Be ready to move. I know they're setting up a construct and setting legislations where it's trying to stop people from moving. They're attempting to break down the society in which you cannot freely move back and forth, knowing that we are now fulfilling prophecy. Read.
For I have spread you abroad as the four winds of the heaven.
Because the Most High allowed the Gentiles to take us down and has spread us throughout the four corners of the earth to serve for a time. But that time is almost at an end. Read.
Saith the Most High, Ahia.
Go ahead.
Verse 7. Deliver thyself, O Zion.
Do what?
Deliver thyself, O Zion.
Wait for Christ to pick you up.
Deliver thyself, O Zion.
Wait for God to come tell you it's time for you to float in the cloud.
Deliver thyself, O Zion.
Deliver thyself, O Zion.
That dwellest with the daughter of Babylon.
So if you're dwelling with the daughter of Babylon, you have to look to deliver yourself. No man can deliver you. You must be in the Spirit, link in with the Most High, and follow the Spirit. Read.
Verse 8. For thus saith the Most High, Ahia of hosts. After the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye.
So that's why the nations are not, that's another reason the nations are not numbered. The nations are those that trodden Jerusalem underfoot. They are the nations who spoiled the children of Israel. They're not numbered as leaders for the new kingdom to come. They're in their construct. They're in their kingdom. The same as we're not numbered to rule their kingdom. And they're not numbered to rule ours. And our kingdom will be under Christ. Let's go back to Revelations. So there was given me a reed like unto a rod to measure the temple. Let's see the temple being measured in Revelations 21. Revelations 21. And please, make sure you write down these precepts and get these precepts. Revelations 21. And let's start at the which talks about the measure of a man right here. Let's start at 15.
Revelations chapter 22, verse 15. And he that talked with me had a golden reed to measure the city.
There you go, that measuring tool again. Go ahead.
And the gates thereof, and the wall thereof. Verse 16. And the city lieth foursquare, and the length is as large as the breadth. And he measured the city with the reed, 12,000 furlongs.
12,000 furlongs, and we're going to show you what that means in a moment. Read.
The length and the breadth and the height of it are equal.
Go ahead.
Verse 17. And he measured the wall thereof, as and 144 cubits.
144 cubits. So this angel is measuring the 144,000, which will lead under the 12 disciples in Christ. These are they who've been following Christ since and after Christ's crucifixion, throughout all empires. And they're still being numbered up until this present time. So when it's talking about the angels measuring, it's not just talking about our present generation. That 42 months in which we're tread underfoot, the Most High have awakened those in every generation. Not by number like we see today, but every generation had those who knew the truth. And they were measured and counted for this temple. Read.
According to the measure of a man.
According to the measure of a man, that is what?
Of the angel.
Of the angel. What angel? The angel we read of in Revelation 11, who was given a command by the Most High to measure the temple. Also proving that the 144,000 are men. The women and children of the man's family are encompassed within his number. His household is encompassed within him. So even though it's one man, if he have blood on the door, everyone in his household are counted within that number. More clarity. Let's go to Revelation 7 and 1. And then let's go back to Revelation 11.
Sure. Revelation chapter 7, verse 1.
Go ahead.
And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on any tree.
Holding the destruction, read.
Nor on the sea, nor on any tree, Verse 2. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea.
So these angels will be cut loose. And when these angels are cut loose, destruction would happen in high numbers. So the Most High will allow certain destructions to happen within this earth at that period. And we're in that period. Read.
Saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea.
Don't touch anything yet.
Nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God.
So these are servants of the Most High, people who know Christ, know the truth. In
their foreheads.
Go ahead.
Verse 4. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000.
Of who?
Of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
Of all the tribes of the children of Israel. So that tells you who's being measured in Revelation 11. And that the court on the outside leave out. See that? So when you're looking at the religions of this earth today, other nations are over these religions and not us. Why? That's their gods. Their gods are giving them power. And they know that our God, the God of Moses, the God of the prophets of the Bible, the God of Israel, is not measuring them. Therefore, they teach the Bible is nothing. You can't believe the Bible. Don't even deal with it. Who wrote the Bible? And yet everyone else out there is reading literature that's written by men. But they'll say, well, the Bible was written by men, so don't read it. There's a reason for that. Because they know our God are not measuring them as leaders for the kingdom to come. He's measuring the poor. He's measuring those who fit the prophecy of the people who came out of ancient Egypt and served Egypt. That's who's being measured. I'm going to go into that in a moment. Let's go back to Revelations. So 144,000 of all the children of Israel. If you notice, that links up to the temple, 144,000 cubits and 12 furlongs. You have 12 tribes. You have 12,000 from each tribe, which equals 144,000. You can see that.